Thank you, Chrissy, and good afternoon to everybody, and thank you very much for staying on. I'm the second last man standing between you and a drink, and I must say the bar is already happening, and I had a couple already, so this could be a very entertaining presentation. But in all seriousness, we have a very serious project. It is in fact the world's highest grade graphite JORC resource, and it is the world's second largest. In fact, just yesterday we achieved a measured mineral resource classification, which is a great milestone for the project. We completed a positive pre-feasibility study on the project in 2024, and we have a unique product offering, a 90% carbon concentrate product and a 5 nines purity, high purity product for high technology applications. Very supportive governments all around the world, led by the Kazakh government. They've granted the mining lease, they've granted the environment permit, they've helped us achieve strategic project status in the EU, and they've made introductions to us in the US as well. Now the DFS is full steam ahead. The measured mineral resource feeds into that, and we will have the definitive feasibility study on the upstream project that will be published in June of this year, meeting a long-standing target. We IPO'd this company in 2022 on the back of a dream and an inferred resource, and here we are now with a measured resource and about to deliver a DFS. So let's just have a look at that measured mineral resource. It's giant. We've got more graphite than we'll ever need, more than 1,000 years of graphite. So what we've actually done, we did want to improve on our resource, so we did some infill drilling just on those pits that were identified from the pre-feasibility study. We drilled that out 50 by 50, just to 50 metres depth, and all of those holes ended in the highest grade mineralisation you'll see anywhere in the world. We've now attained that measured mineral resource, and we're very proud of the work that's done there, and it's a high quality piece of work ready to feed into the update to the ore reserve. This here is our flow sheet arising from the pre-feasibility study. We initially do flotation. We upgrade this material to 90% carbon, which is highly suitable for industrial markets. And then we do thermal purification. In contrast to what's done in China and what's done by many of our Western competitors, they often look at chemical purification involving acids and alkalines. We actually use thermal purification, and that produces an ultra high purity product. Because we do spheronisation second rather than in front of the purification, it means that we have this ultra high purity fines, which is a really unique product offering that is extremely high value. The numbers from the pre-feasibility study look fantastic, and every single one of those stages makes money on its own 2 feet. So we'll start with this upstream business, and that pre-feasibility study will reaffirm those numbers from the pre-feasibility study in June, and we'll move forward to construction. This slide here, for those who love a good bubble chart, I'll have to give you time to review this in your own time, but suffice to say the chart on the left there shows our deposit to be truly exceptional. It's peerless in terms of its grade, second largest, and then from a valuation perspective, that's actually a log scale. We're 30 cents per resource tonne. Some of our competitors there are more like $7. Now, what does high grade do for you? We all know in mining, grade is king. And because we're triple the grade of everyone else, it means that we only need to mine and process a third of the rock. So that means we can do it very cheaply. Input costs are very low as well. So we can actually make our concentrate for US $260 per tonne. And we're the only non-Chinese project, all of those bubbles there are our ASX listed peers, we're the only non-Chinese product that can compete head-to-head with China. Now there's a lot out there with tariffs and government support and so forth, and that'll be lovely, but we can actually compete on our own 2 feet. So we're going to make 3 families of products. The first family of products is our concentrate, and these are used for industrial uses, and this is going to be a really good standalone business, a very profitable little business. It's used in the foundry industry. To make cast iron, for example, you need to add 3% carbon back to your pig iron, so that's a big market for us. It's used in brakes and plastics and rubbers and lubricants. The second product family, and this is the unique one for Sarytogan because we have the high purity fines, is ultra high purity fines. We've made alkaline batteries, we've made lead acid batteries, we've met the spec for the nuclear industry, and it's also got a lot of applications in defence. In fact, rocket nozzles is going to be a really interesting market for us. To make a Saturn V rocket, you need a titanium rocket nozzle, but if you want to get into hypersonic missiles, that'll melt, and graphite is the application there, and ultra-high purity graphite. The final market is, of course, lithium-ion batteries, and we've made those lithium-ion batteries and they perform very well. Now, the market is continuing to grow very, very strongly. I know the focus has moved away from battery metals and perhaps into your precious metals, but these charts are very impressive. The large chart there shows the active anode material production in China, and over 4 short years it's gone from 50,000 tonnes up to 300,000 tonnes. The other chart there shows the proportion of electric vehicles offered for sale. It's currently about 30% of the models worldwide. If you want to buy a vehicle, 30% of your options are EVs. And that's translating into graphite demand, which is on the path to double this decade. So why not the excitement in graphite? Well, our biggest competitor is actually synthetic graphite. Now, synthetic graphite, it can be done quickly. You can turn on a plant very quickly, and in fact, that's what they've done in China and captured a lot of market share. But it comes at a cost. Enormous amounts of energy are required. And that comes at an economic cost and an environmental cost. But you know what? The best batteries are actually a blend of natural and synthetic graphite. And our graphite is actually a bit of a blend of the two. As part of the feed preparation for our thermal purification process, we do introduce some carbon-based binders at a rate of about 25%. So our high purity graphite products are actually 25% synthetic and 75% natural, and we see that in the performance, which is just ideal. Now, the geopolitical environment, it's really heating up. Europeans are very much focused on the environmental side, and that's still very strong, but China dominates graphite more than any other mineral. Now, the US's response, that's just really crystallised in the last few weeks, in fact. The tariffs have just crystallised at 160% for Chinese graphite. And also, the USA has also just announced this Project Vault, where they'll be investing $12 billion to build up a stockpile of critical raw materials. And there is a trading bloc proposed, of which Kazakhstan and Australia and the USA will be members. Kazakhstan as a jurisdiction, we actually see it as our biggest opportunity rather than a risk. It's really allowed us to get into the European market. We've enjoyed tremendous success there. Our largest shareholder is the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. We are in fact a strategic project under the Critical Raw Materials Act in Europe, and we're continuing to get that strong government support. Great place to go mining, big cosmopolitan cities, and ideally placed close to markets. Low cost power, obviously grade is king, that helps us with cost. The other things, electricity, water, infrastructure, it's all in place. We're not the only ones up there. We've got all of the majors up there. A lot of them are exploring for copper, and they see the potential that we also see. We're doing a little bit of copper exploration up there as well. I don't have time to talk through that now, but suffice to say, it's a great place to go looking for copper. 4 out of the world's 5 lowest cost copper mines are actually in Kazakhstan. So we hope to benefit from that cost base as well. But the focus, of course, remains the graphite project, and we are tracking through those milestones. Everything we said we'd do at the IPO 4 years ago, we've achieved, and that'll include tabling the DFS in June, and everything is looking very much in line with the very impressive numbers we put out from the pre-feasibility study. Well-funded, more cash coming in from some big investors, continued support from the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and we'd love to have you on board as shareholders, ASX, SGA. Thank you.